Welcome. Today I thought we would look at a character here. A character called Mr. Griffith Griffith. What? Mr. Griffith Griffith? Surely nobody has that name. Yes, somebody has that name, and he's a very well-known figure in the state of California. In fact, Mr. Griffith Griffith. And that's where we're going to start today. Thank you for being here this week. I love you all. God bless and welcome. Okay, welcome, Mr. Griffith Griffith. Here comes the cat. Can this really be? Can there really be such a man? Let's find out. I do hate the camera. I'm practicing doing something that I feel uncomfortable doing. And it's fun, actually, doing things that make you uncomfortable. Here we go. Mr. Griffith. I struggle with how many times I should look at the camera. Scratch that. Griffith J. Griffith. Here we go. A lot. I told you, he's a famous man. He has a statue here. Sorry. I think I'm gonna change the angle. That way we can have a little cattage in here too. Cattage. Let me compromise here somehow. Okay, I think that's good. There we go. So here we are looking at a man called Griffith. There he is up there. Griffith J. Griffith. Wah. What a fine baby, Mrs. Griffith. What shall you name him? I shall name him Griffith. Perhaps the medication is too strong. Maybe you should hold off. Nonsense. He'll be called Griffith Griffith. Very bold. No matter what that conversation sounded like. Born Griffith Jenkins Griffith in Wales. Died in 1919 at age 69. In LA. Okay. Welsh-born American industrialist, philanthropist, made a fortune from a mining syndicate in the 1880s. Griffith donated 3,000 acres to Los Angeles. This is just stupid already. I mean, I have to call it when I read it. He's immigrated to Los Angeles from Wales, makes a fortune from a mining syndicate. Okay. Now he's donating 3,000 acres to the city of Los Angeles? This reminds me of Washington, D.C., actually. Washington, D.C., we're told, was donated by the Smithsonian, by Mr. Smithson. Smithson, that's it. Like, we're just starting out in America. I mean, you could just snatch land up all over the place. Snatch it up. And yet we're told, strangely, that Washington, D.C. was land that was donated by the Smithsons, known as the Smithsonians. So weird. Here we have a similar thing. Like, city of LA needed this foreigner. Foreigner amazingly has so much land that he can just donate a little of it. 3,000 acres. Just only 3,000 acres. Which is insanely huge. I live on almost 20. The data center they want to build in Utah is supposed to be 40,000 acres. Just to put things in perspective. Why you need 40,000 acres? You build a huge data center on 20 acres. You don't need 3,000, you don't need 40,000, but that's another story. Here, the city of Los Angeles has 3,000 acres donated that eventually becomes Griffith Park. Griffith Park is a large municipal park at the eastern end of the Santa Monica Mountain. And ultimately there's this old world building up there, and that's where most of us will be familiar with the Griffith Observatory. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. So here we go. Here's the Griffith Observatory. Really interesting. Really interesting. I question what this really was at one point in the old world. And it is an old world building. I mean, we'll be told whatever, and we'll find out, actually. what we'll be told. Absolutely prime land, just overlooking the city. When you look at photos, it's a really popular place. A lot of people go up here for different reasons. Here we can see the layout, pretty unbelievable, symmetrical. A modern or a model showing the underground area added during the 2002 renovation. So really, did they really add an underground area up here on the hill? Or are they just revealing more? Here we can see ironwork on the outside of the door. And here the rotunda ceiling. And now like a telescope basically. And a museum, planetarium. There's a restaurant, I think. Just a popular place. Here's a Tesla coil at the observatory. Pretty cool. The astronomer's monument. And again, this guy dies in early 1900s at 69. In 1896, he donates all this land, this 3,000 acres. 1896. So that's what's really crazy. In this early time period, already this foreigner has amassed a fortune in a very young 50-year-old Los Angeles. He's already snatched up I don't know how much land if he's donated 3,000 here. In his will, he also donated funds to build an observatory. Okay, so we're told after he kicks the bucket, his will, his magical will now, begins to bear more fruit. The funds to build an observatory, an exhibit hall, and a planetarium on the donated land. There we go. He has no family or anything. I mean, we're just going to piss our fortune away for the great benefit of the city of Los Angeles. His objective was to make astronomy accessible to the public, as opposed to the idea that observatories should be located on remote mountain tops and restricted to scientists. Okay, not restricted to scientists, of course, but the idea that they're in remote places is because it's dark. It is slightly defeating, I think, to put an observatory in the middle of a really bright city. And here we go. Construction for the observatory began in 1933. Of course it did. And let's have a look at this observatory in 1933. Or just in old times, just to get some perspective. Here we go. It's pretty decent. Okay, and I don't know, maybe this is supposed to be construction photo. I mean, we can see through the whole building here, almost like there's no windows. Look how giant this door is, just huge. See any construction equipment? It's a big mess. Like, almost like they were just removing debris. Like they're just pushing piles aside. Pretty amazing. I don't know why. It seems to highlight the truth, or at least my theory when looking at some of these older photos. Check this out. Okay. Again, a very early time period. High up. And it looks like there's kind of like, I don't know, like smoke or something that's been coming out of the top of this. Do you see that? A vent. Like this was more industrial. And as they repurpose everything, they thought to themselves, what will we do with such structures? And I think once they figured out what to do with the type of structure, they did it all throughout the realm. Like all buildings that look like cathedrals would clearly become cathedrals, even if they weren't in the old world, which I don't think they were. And observatories also. Obelisks, although they may have had a tech purpose in the past, and this one isn't that impressive, but it is pretty impressive, were not just monuments and museums and, everything had a function, everything had a purpose, and we turn things into other things. And the museum is a great one. Like when they really don't know what to do with it, it becomes a museum and you just fill it with junk and exhibits, and people accept that and don't even question the glory of the actual building. This thing is just sick. Look at this. Clearly, like I was saying before, right? There was already an underground. It wasn't an addition. They were telling us the addition of the underground came in the 2000s. This baby was built in the early 1900s. And honestly, I don't think it was built in the early 1900s. I think it's older. And I don't know. Of course, I must stress, I wasn't there. I don't know anything, really. It's just what it seems like. So here's a construction photo, we're told. Is it? Again, I know nothing. Let's depart from this topic and look at something totally different. Pause. Okay, next segment. This is kind of interesting today. Usually I don't record this early. Usually it's hot this time of year, but it's really cool today for some reason, and I don't have to run the swamp cooler. So, yeah, I thought I would just make hay while the sun is shining, as they say, I think. Cat is very happy, laying on the keyboard, but not triggering it. Oops, maybe I could pull it back. So here I have these notes. These notes have been annoying me, actually. Oops, sorry, these notes are annoying me. So we're just gonna look at them here together. Alright, sorry, Lee. I'll show you, Lee. Lee Cam. Here we go. Not having it. Alright, don't blame her. So it says all these things. It actually, on the top left corner, it says Griffith J. Griffith. And we've discussed that. So I can check that off. Next we have a comment that somebody left that says something like Edenberg was the original Jerusalem, and that's just a can of worms, because people are gonna like chime in like they always do and say it's pronounced Edenborough. It's spelled Edenberg like an iceberg, but Edenberg, like the pinnacle of Eden. But anyway, that's not enough. No, for some reason it's pronounced Edenborough. I mean, they just throw letters in there that don't exist. And I mean, it just is what it is. Like, everyone has their things. Every place has something stupid. But yeah, anyway. So maybe, and I think that's referring to this old map. Hey, can you see that? It's referring to this old map that we've looked at in great detail. Go ahead and have a looketh. It's been some time. And I think where this thought came from was from down here somewhere. So here we saw Jerusalem. And I can verify, in fact, in a past video, based on this comment, here you can see Edenberg, the original Jerusalem. And that was a comment. And based on that, I went and explored Jerusalem. And I think that video's still up. I don't think that's the one I deleted. And sorry for deleting that last video, actually. I might re-upload it. Sometimes I get emotional and just don't like a video, but some people told me that it was good and it helped them in some way, especially my ranty parts. And often it's my ranty parts that I feel are inappropriate, and those are usually the reason that I delete things. Anyway, enough of side tangent. So, I don't know. Maybe Edenborough is the original Jerusalem. But here, as far as this map is concerned, this old map, Jerusalem did legit seem to be Jerusalem. Like, here's what I was showing in that video. I was showing that King Solomon's temple is here. I think it's here. I think this is it right here. And really all of Jerusalem looks like it's like some giant star fort, to be quite honest. And then straight up I went down there and dropped the man on Google Earth. And no doubt, giant castle-y, blocky wall in Jerusalem. I mean, it did line up. It really was this. This is really in the Middle East, is what I'm saying. And there may have been multiple Jerusalems, but then there was another comment on here. The other comment that concerns this map, here we go. Over here it says compare, very chicken scratchy too, by the way. I apologize for my chicken scratch writing. Usually I have pretty good writing. It sucks here. This is like my in a rush writing. But it says compare the 1657 map, that's what we're looking at here, to old Yemen. Oh, somebody was telling me Aiden, and we can see that here, Aiden was super cool. Aiden, someone was telling me, was Yemen, or is in Yemen. So this is a city in Yemen. Oh my god, and I loved it. I super loved it because what we can see is all of these castles up on these mountains. And today we find, you know, cooked out buildings on tops of mountains. And even this Griffith Park that we were just looking at, it's in great shape actually. But yeah, a building on a mountain. And this is next level. Next level for 1600s map. Look at this city. Look at the super wall here on the coast, and this city, just an amazing city, and then it just goes on and on. Look at all these buildings here, everywhere. And then up here there's like smoke coming out of them, like industrial. Like, what is this? And today Yemen is I don't know. Yemen is kind of, I want to say kind of third world. Forgive me, but I really don't know. I'd like to look at this, actually, if possible. I mean, before I start saying anything. The sun is going down. I wonder if I could show you the outside. Oh yeah, here's outside. Outside. Oh, okay, let me get serious here. Kind of losing my voice a little. Alright, serious again. So I was gonna look up Aiden? A-D-E-N. Aiden, Yemen. Here we go. Boom. Oh, take us away. And here we go. Aden, Yemen, seen on an old 1657 map with castles and fortifications. And sick. Look at the artificiality of this coastline. Just perfect. Shaped port. Beautiful. Beautiful port city. And here we go. So you go in. So unbelievable, right? This is awesome. I would go here. Let me zoom out again. Let's get some perspective. That happened a little too quickly. Okay. So we are in Saudi Arabia. Well, no, it's Yemen. Pretty awesome, really. Pretty awesome. My computer is struggling. I think it might be hot. Here we go. And then across the way we have Little Aden. So we have Big Aden and Little Aden. Fascinating. Laid out cities. But I'm on the hunt. I want to stay focused here. Let us look. I mean, can we drop the man first of all? Let's see. Any man at all? Oh, sorry. I should show you guys Chief. There's Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi. He's hot. Like I said, it's pretty hot. Not too hot though, where I don't need to run the fan actually. Again, the cat passed out here. The minute I hit record actually, that's how it works around here. The minute I hit record, she comes in and jumps up here. How it is, just the way it is. Oh, here we go. Okay, Yemen. God, my computer, it's not tolerating Google right now. Heavy program. But we do have mountains here. We have mountains, and in fact, what this mountain is, it says crater. It's like a volcano. So now it's a volcano, and in the past, here's the past. In the past, God, my computer is really slow. It's glitching out. In the past, this was it. Just a little part of the city, so we should be able to find the wall. Surely. And yet, what side were we dealing with there? Where is that wall? Is it now maybe like this road? Where would I begin to look for that wall? It's gonna be down by the coast. Here it is. Here is that wall. Boom. Okay. Now we're talking. This wall, you know, this wall won't really mean much to many people. And yet, this wall is part of that old city. And in fact, buildings have been destroyed, but they're still here. You can still see traces of this old city. And in fact, perhaps all of it. Perhaps every inch of it is that city. And I think this wall will actually continue all over. Unbelievable. Look at this. So here we do, again, the mountaintops. We have traces of these castles that had smoke coming out of them on tops of the mountains. And here they are. Here's some of them, just some. Totally destroyed. And in fact, we see the discoloration of this mountaintop. I think they're calling it a crater or a volcano. And that is total BS. Pretty awesome. Pretty sad, actually, too. This all must be a part of it. Look at this. I mean, the city just climbed up the mountain like we saw, but the biggest structures that we saw on top have been cooked. And this mountaintop is cooked. Cooked minerals turned to rainbows. And here we go. Here are those structures. Let me jump over and show you the map. Here we go. These are the structures on top. On the very, very top of the Aden Mountains. This is sick. Here we go. Here's some more Aden mountaintops. Here is some more wallage. Cooked wall, cooked city. Let's go to the top. Do we see more buildings up here? I think much of it has been destroyed ultimately. But I'm glad we did find some of these structures and some of this wall. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome and exciting. No man dropping up here, unfortunately. So I would really like to do that with all of these. I mean, we did it with Jerusalem. Now we've slightly done it with Aden. But let us look at some more things on this little list of mine. And let's take a quick pause. Here is the Bosque de Chapultepec. No idea. Just a comment that somebody must have left for me. Here it finished the spelling, thank God for me, because I would have never spelled this. Pretty awesome. I mean, what is this? Just like some castle up in the hills? Let's see if we can track this one down. Here we go. Very unlikely place for such a large and beautiful building. And what city is this? Mexico City. Look at this. Why have I not looked at Mexico City? Look at this amazing layout. I'm gonna take the roads off. Get rid of these roads. There we go. Now we can really see what we're dealing with here. Look at this perfection. This star city. Can you imagine? I mean, there is absolute perfection of surveying going on here, like Washington DC. All the surveying is way too advanced and older. Pretty unbelievable. And again, if I hadn't surveyed my land with a surveyor, I don't even think I really got a discount. I think he just didn't have a helper. And especially back when, it was before technology. I mean, now I think the tech is good enough to where a person could probably survey by themselves using a lot of these modern tools that we have. Yeah, Mexico City is super advanced here. Unbelievable layout. And I don't know what somebody wanted me to discover here. Clearly a lot to discover. This thing is pretty unbelievable. And in fact, it's kind of like a World's Fair kind of thing. I mean, you have this huge park and all these buildings, just tons of old world buildings just packed in this park. And they've preserved it. Thank God they've preserved it. A lot to discover here. Of course, it will be built in an early time period when it should not be. It is one of the largest city parks in Mexico. 2,000 acres. A little bit less than our park donated by Mr. Griffith Griffith. Ah, Mr. Griffith. Such a fine mustache. 2,000 acres. Again, like a little World's Fair. You really need to explain these away. You're going to need a man again. Who could possibly have built that building in this park? The area has been inhabited and considered a landmark since pre-Columbian times. It became a retreat for Aztec rulers. Oh. In the colonial period, the Chapultepec Castle was built here in the colonial period. So that's pretty interesting, actually. That is not very specific, and yet pretty fair. God, they're being annoying as... Sorry. The Chapultepec Castle was built here, eventually becoming the official residence of Mexico's heads of state. So this is very vague, actually. I think we need more on this castle now. Now I am really intrigued. It was built during the Viceroyalty of New Spain as a summer house for the colonial administrator. In 1841? Very vague. Very vague here. It was remodeled by this man. Come on. It was remodeled by this man. This man died in 1867. So this is really fascinating and quite a bit of BS. I mean, here, you know, our writers of history are not perhaps responsible for writing their history here. Maybe everybody, all part of the club, of course, but, you know, you can't micromanage everybody. And here somebody wrote this history. It was built as a summer house around 1841. No, maybe even older. Maybe 1785. Viceroy Bernard Galvez, construction of a stately home for himself at the highest point on Chapultepec Hill. Sorry, I know that's not how you pronounce it. 1785, construction began. Let's just look at some pictures of her now. Here we go. The old Viceroy Castle. Look at this baby. And look at the BS that they're giving us about this beauty. Quite a specimen. Yeah, I'm glad I got to it. Thank you, whoever shared this with me. Thank you. Pretty awesome. We can check this off of my list and let us have a look at something else. Pause. Welcome back. It's a little darker now, and I don't think we'll get to everything on my list, but I do have a few things on here that I wanted to touch on. Let me see. Right here, I wanted to talk about Casablanca. And I don't know much about Casablanca, really. Casablanca. Casablanca is the largest city in Morocco. Let's get really specific with it here. Oh, shizzle. Oh, shit. Next level. Next level. I don't know. I stand corrected. I'm just humbled. Unbelievable. Humbled. What? Like built in the water? Like, oh yeah, let's just build it in the water. Why the hell not? Sick. So yeah, this whole city is basically called White House. And what is the White House? I mean, come on. Come on. It's not like the greatest thing ever. So maybe like all the old buildings were white? I don't know. I don't even know. I have nothing to say, actually. I feel stupid. I mean, our White House looks like a pile of shit. Absolute shit compared to this place. And I guess everything is kind of white. And we see that a lot. We're told it was called Casablanca because it translates to White House in Spanish, a name derived from Portuguese Casablanca, which was used when the Portuguese built a fortress there in the 16th century. Looks like it was destroyed. This name was adopted after the city was rebuilt. It was destroyed in an earthquake. There we go, an earthquake in 1755. Portuguese built a military fortress on the ruins of an earlier settlement called Anfa, which has been a significant port city. Oh, forgive me. But what I wanted to end with was this park in Washington, D.C. We were just talking about Washington, D.C. And this is Malcolm X Park. Malcolm X. If you don't know, Malcolm X was a man that spoke out for the rights of the black man, similar to Martin Luther King, but it was, I think, a little more intense. And I think he had the same fate as Mr. King. And I'm sure the King is a park, but here is Malcolm X's park, or at least named after Malcolm X. Let's look at this park, or at least what it used to be. It looks like it used to be Meridian Hill Park way back, and then it was given the name Malcolm X Park. And here we can see it. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful park. And basically the water has not been flowing for years, I think since COVID or something. And people were just skating in here for years again. They have not had water in the park. As you can see here, cascading fountains at Meridian Hill Park flows after years of not flowing. A decade. More than half a decade. And I saw this, I don't know, like on YouTube or something. And I thought, what a gorgeous park. And here we can see it in old times. The history of Malcolm X Park. Go and have a look at this website as they're providing us with this old picture. Pretty unbelievable here. So you see like a second story, like a building, and then they've like planted trees. Pier? Maybe not. Maybe this is just a wall. I don't know. This is kind of a trip. These old cars down here. This photo was taken between 1910 and 1925. Here's a plan of the park. 1928. Look at this. Look how ambitious. Building, fountains. Pretty bold. I mean, especially when we see what it looks like today. So I think that is it for this week. I thank you for joining me. I hope this was interesting or educational or just served some kind of value in any kind of way. I love you all. God bless, and I'll see you next week.